Pope Francis published an Apostolic Exhortation building in his 2015 encyclical. "We're not reacting enough," he says, "and we're close to breaking point." He criticizes climate change deniers, saying the human origin of global warming is now beyond doubt. And it describes how care for our common home flows from Christian faith. Vatican News. Praise God is the title of this letter. Because when people claim to replace God, they become their own worst enemies. This is how Pope Francis concludes his new apostolic exhortation. Delivered at the feast of Saint Francis of Assisi on the 4th of October. It is a text in continuity with the 2015 encyclical Laudato Si, which is broader in scope. In 6 chapters 73 paragraphs, Peter's successor seeks to clarify and complement previous text on integrated ecology, while also sounding an alarm, a call for co-responsibility in the face of climate emergency. In particular, exhortation is looking ahead to COP28, which will be held in Dubai between late November and early December. The Holy Father writes, "As time passed, I realized that our answers were not enough, that the world we live in was collapsing and might be approaching its breaking point. In addition to this possibility, there is no doubt that the impact of climate change will increasingly impact the lives and families of many people. One of fundamental challenges facing society and global community, and the impacts of climate change are borne by most vulnerable people, whether at home or around world. Laudate Deum Signs of climate change are becoming increasingly evident. The first part is dedicated to the global climate crisis. Despite all attempts to deny, hide, gloss over or reattribute problem, the signs of climate change are here and increasingly evident, Pope says. He goes on to observe that in recent years we have witnessed extreme weather events, frequent periods of unusual heat, drought and other cries of protest around the world. A silent disease that affects everyone. Moreover, Pope Francis said, it can be confirmed that certain climatic changes caused by humanity significantly increase the likelihood of increasingly frequent and intense extreme phenomena. Now, the Holy Father says, if global temperatures rise by more than 2 degrees, the Greenland ice caps and much of Antarctica will melt completely, with extremely serious consequences for everyone. Speaking of climate change gamers, what we are experiencing now is an extraordinary acceleration of warming, at such a pace that it will take centuries or millennia, not centuries or millennia, just a generation to confirm. Probably within a few years many populations will be forced to move their homes due to these realities. Extreme colds are also 7 listative expressions of the same cause. It's not the poor people's fault. To simplify reality, Pope Francis writes, there are those who will impose responsibility on the poor for having many children, and even try to solve the proble